Half-Life 1 introduced the zombies and barnacles, Half-Life 2 had the Antlions, and Half-Life Alyx has Jeff, bubble things, and this electric guy. The normal headcrab is pretty much exactly like the ones from Half-Life 1 and 2. If you thought they looked like turkey before, you'll be even more convinced now. Unlike Half-Life 1 and 2, they do give off a really clear warning when they're about to attack. It's quite easy to avoid in VR and even easier to avoid outside VR in pancake mode. Instead of just landing perfectly like in Half-Life 2, they flop onto the floor and take a couple seconds to get back up. It's pretty fun to watch them flop all over the place. Just like in the other Half-Life games, they're really weak. It only takes a couple of gunshots to kill them. However, shooting them with a shotgun makes them explode into a bunch of chunks, and it's really fun to do. They can also latch onto your head and you gotta shoot them to get them off, but this is only in the VR mode of the game. They also make some pretty cool sounds, which I'll show you right now. Armoured headcrabs are brand new, they've never been seen before. They really just resemble the normal headcrabs, but with spiky armour all over their body. They're resistant to everything except explosives, which seem to still blow them to pieces like normal. Now they may seem indestructible, but they're not. Simply just shoot the glowing thing on their stomach, and this kills them instantly no matter what the weapon. Shooting them with a shotgun does flip them over onto their backs, which gives you an easy advantage point to shoot their weak spot. You can actually technically kill them without shooting their heart, but instead shooting exposed parts along the sides, but it's not recommended as it takes a lot of ammo and willpower to do it. It's easier just to wait for them to reveal their heart. Just like the normal headcrabs, they give a warning of when they're about to attack. Luckily for us, this warning also reveals their hearts, and if you've got good aim, you can kill them right there and then. This headcrab's also a bit slower and less agile, possibly linking to the theory that the shell around it is a type of fungus or Xen flora that clings to it. This is further supported by the fact you see a lot of similar looking flora around the quarantine zone. The poison headcrab is pretty much the same as it was in Half-Life 2. It's slow, large, and deals a lot of damage. It leaps a lot lower down than both the armoured and normal headcrabs, and moves a lot slower. It also has a lot of health. It usually appears in darker areas of the quarantine zone. This combined with its dark colour scheme allows it to hide in the dark, and attacks you from there. After being damaged by it, your screen will go a green colour that blinds your vision for a few seconds. They also deal a lot of damage, similarly to how they do in Half-Life 2. The lightning dog is technically a headcrab, even though it doesn't latch onto their victims' heads. They're incredibly agile, often running into cover out of your view. They have 3 attacks: a normal headcrab attack, a projectile attack that will stun you and disable all your gravity glove indicators, and a final smoke shield attack that they use to escape when cornered. The projectile and smoke shield attacks have a very big warning to when they're about to happen, so it's pretty easy to dodge, same with the headcrab leap. This headcrab is very defensive and will always run away and never engage unless cornered. After using the smoke screen attack, it actually moves quite slowly, so it won't be much of a challenge to locate it again after it flees. Damaging this headcrab a lot will eventually make it go into its second state, which it will slowly limp away from you. It will very rarely attack and will always head in the opposite direction away from you. Now this little freak in nature is actually a headcrab, so it does have a zombie type that is really cool, and sort of like a mini-boss, but we'll get into that later. Killing this headcrab will make it drop something that's like a power cell, and can be used to open combined doors and stuff. It's pretty neat. The standard zombie is pretty much exactly the same as the other games. However, these zombies do have a small chance to sprint towards you. If you have the hammer editor, you can actually tweak this value to make them sprint more often or less often. They have really slow swings that are easy to dodge in VR and outside of it. An annoying thing that does happen sadly is that when you shoot the headcrab, it doesn't die when the zombie dies. So aiming for headshots is pretty much pointless if you're also trying to kill the headcrab. One new thing that was added in Half-Life Alyx were bloaters. They are small green things that appear on the limbs of zombies. Shooting them will cause them to explode, killing the zombie and the headcrab instantly. They're pretty small, and the zombie is usually flailing its arms around, so they can be quite a hard target to hit, but it's worth all the trouble. Not all zombies have these bloaters, only some zombies. They can appear on the arms, chest and legs. Shooting zombies can also have a chance to make them flinch. When they flinch, they're unable to attack or move, so it gives you time to either shoot it again or run away. The Armoured Headcrab zombie is just a normal zombie, but with an Armoured Headcrab instead. You have to shoot the body of the zombie, as it is impossible to kill it by shooting only the headcrab. The bullets will just deflect off it. So yeah, shoot the body and you'll be golden. This does actually mean you'll have to kill the Armoured Headcrab normally after you kill the zombie. You remember that electric zombie I talked about earlier? Well, here he is. If you happen to kill a zombie near the lightning dog headcrab, it'll burrow itself deep inside the chest cavity of the dead zombie, and it'll violently turn into an electric zombie. These things are tough. They have 2 attacks, a normal zombie swing, and this lightning beam thing. It really reminds me of the Gargantua's attack from Half-Life 1. The sound effects of this thing are just amazing. Really satisfying. Anyways, a lot of the electric attacks do stun you, so watch out for that. Shooting the zombie on the body won't actually damage it very well. The only way to really damage it is to wait for the bloater type thing to appear and to shoot it. This turns the zombie back into its attack mode with the electric attacks, starting the whole process over again. After a while you'll kill it and the lightning dog will jump back out and immediately look for another body to jump into. So make sure you keep a distance between dead zombies and the lightning dog. Ah, Jeff. The second most terrifying thing about the game. Just getting beaten by the stretchy rat boy. So this guy is really slow moving, but he's also very blind. But he's got really good hearing. You can lure him around using bottles, but if you make even the slightest noise, like coughing or something, he'll chase right after you. And once he attacks you even once, you're dead. Like, very dead. He can basically insta-kill you. Like I said, you can use bottles to lure him around, and luckily in the Jeff levels there's a surplus of bottles, so no need to worry about that. He also secretes this gas that will make you cough if you go near him, and as we know, coughing makes him very upset. The Antlions are completely different to their Half-Life 2 counterparts. From their designs to the way they behave are entirely different. They're a lot more slow moving and I swear they're way larger. They got a bit hairier too by the looks of it. Anyways, there's one really cool thing about them, and that's that you can shoot their limbs off, and each limb you shoot off makes it harder for them to attack and move. The wings act as more like a shield to this bulb thing on their back. Shooting the bulb will cause it to explode, killing them instantly. Shooting all their limbs off also kills them, but shooting the bulb is definitely more fun. Their only attack is this lunge attack, and they do like doing backflips a lot, which I thought was funny. Same with the normal Antlions, these guys look way different to their episode 2 counterparts. I mean, just look at them. They glow really bright blue, and also seem to be able to fly slightly. They aren't offensive at all, and pretty much refuse to rush the player. Instead they hang back and fire projectiles from a distance. These projectiles aren't poisonous, but just blind you and deal a bit of damage. They're quite slow, so you can avoid them pretty easily. The Antlion Worker pretty much always shows their bulbs, so they're not a particularly hard target to hit. They're pretty weak overall. You can also shoot their limbs off like how you can with the other Antlion. Barnacles eat stuff, and that's about it. They're pretty easy to kill, but if they grab you, they'll choke you and slowly drag you upwards. Killing them will make them let go. When they die, they spew out anything they've eaten, and these guys eat resin, so you'll have to kill them if they happen to steal any from you. Killing them will release anything they've eaten. They can eat ammunition and other small items.